So, assalamu alaikum, I'm really happy to be invited here. So, my name is Gregory van Dam. I was born in Brussels, Belgium. I was born in a non-religious family, which is very common in Belgium and I think in all the French-speaking world, because yes, my mother tongue is French. In Belgium we have 3 languages, as you probably know. So I grew up in Belgium. I was a very common Belgian child. I went to a Catholic border school. So even though my family was anti-religious, they thought that the best schools were owned by Catholics. Since I was 8 years old, I was in a border school, a very ancient abbey, in a very beautiful place where a Catholic saint is buried there. So that's practically it. Yeah. Exactly. Basically, it was a very open-minded school. So we had all the classical courses, but for example, we didn't go to church every day, or even, I don't remember actually being at church a lot or things like this. We had, of course, 2 hours a week religion class. Also very open-minded because they know that Belgian people are secular and they do not practice religion anymore, so they don't come and teach them in a way that they expect them to be, fellow Catholics. So yeah, it was a very, very open, like philosophical, ethical, as you said, spiritual kind of teaching. I think I wasn't believing in, something transcendent from the basic human life. So I think I was quite a materialistic child, but yet I think the big quality of my education is that we were very open-minded. So my mother, for example, she used to have books at home about different cultures, Yes, but they were interested in religions, but as cultural realities, like folk realities. Not as matter of thought and matter exactly of spirituality or philosophy, metaphysics, or even as worldview or philosophy of life. It was more like, okay, it's interesting, they do this, it's funny or it's beautiful, but we are not concerned about it. We are as we are, and we don't change at all. That's a very good question. There are some interesting things. There is one very fascinating anecdote I remember very well. When I was a very little child, maybe I was 6 years old or 7 years old, something, we were doing shopping in Brussels, a neighborhood where there are a lot of Moroccan and Turkish shops. My family used to go there to buy, olive oil, dates, things there, what else. And I was with my mother and my grandmother. And we passed before that shop with a big picture in a frame of the Kaaba. I really remember it. And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, mother, I want this for my room." Really, I remember. And my mother was, "Okay, no, you cannot have this because it's of their religion, their culture. If you enter and you ask them to buy it, it will be uncomfortable for us. So no, you cannot." I really remember very well that scene. So I had kind of attraction that comes from, I don't know where. For us in Europe, Muslim equal Arabs. We don't realize that, no, there are Turkish people, there are Persian people, there are African, Indonesian. So Muslim and the Arabs are the enemy, always kind of in the background. Some families of Europe, the imagery of the Crusades also present, not as a racist thing, just as a cultural thing, because we love, chivalry, medieval, these stories are very important stories for the European culture. But in these stories, the bad guy is the Arab, so yeah. I was curious about cultures, about ideas, and at my school I met half Algerian, half Belgian family, totally secular, weren't practicing Muslim at all. Very nice people. I met their daughter, we were friends, was getting along in their house. And at some point I just asked them, "Oh, you have a Quran there in French, that will be interesting for me. Can I borrow it just to read and to discover it? Because I never opened a Quran back there." So yeah, they said, "Oh, yeah, take it home." And that was a big shock. Yeah, I think since the very, very first moment I read the first words, and I was, okay, this is something. It was the first time in my life that I read a text which wasn't about someone or something other than me. This text was talking to me. It was like I was, hearing the voice speaking in the book. So it was a very shocking experience. I remember very well kind of my state at the time. I was like, wow, because, 15 years old kid doing skateboard and, with friends, really not into that kind of thing. And that was, wow. That was said in this book was just plain evidence. Was, okay, just wake up now. Look around you. Don't you see? And I was, yes, that's true. That's how I really see the world, and that's how I should see the world, and that's how I should see myself as part of this world. Definitely, I was really reading it as, okay, this is a personal letter I received from God, and also, okay, that is God. I never thought about God that way. So that was for me also the big revolution. This is a universal message about truth, about a universal truth, actually. I opened myself to this Algerian family city. Like, oh, what's that book? It's incredible. I think I'm going to be Muslim. Yes, and without knowing any practicing Muslim ever. Basically, I was really convinced. So I had no Muslims around me. I didn't matter at all. Through the mother of the family, she got me a book about how to pray, all, the 5 pillars, or basic teachings of Islam. So for 3 years, I was pupil in the boarding school, and I was practicing Islam all by myself. They weren't understand the thing. They were skateboard kids, like punk rock young guys, and they were like, "What are you doing? What's that?" They were laughing at me, but they were nice people, so they accept. Okay, that's his thing now. But I think everybody, my friends, my family, everybody thought it's just a teenage thing. Yeah, whim, exactly. It will pass with time, but yet. What is unbearable for European minds is the rules. Why should you stop drinking alcohol? Why should you not eat pork? It's just meat. So what's the problem? What should you fast? It's not good for your health. For them, following rules, it's really what they always fought against and avoided, exactly. So why our son or our brother is imposing on himself those rules? They don't understand. Fasting was not that an issue because up north, I had the rahmah that my first Ramadan was in November. So basically I was fasting from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m., very easy Ramadan. It's after that I experienced the Ramadan in summer, in north summer, which is like 21 hours fasting. This is something else. But so at that time, no, Ramadan was not a problem at all, really. But praying regularly, that was an issue, of course. When I was at the boarding school, very, very difficult to find a way to pray. I was finding ways to cover my prayer after school or something, but that was the most important struggle. Actually, yes, several friends. I don't know if it's a strategy because it's unconscious, but usually I don't try to convince people. I myself, we talk about things, I give my point of view, but without, trying hard to convince them or, no, you have to accept this or no, not at all. It's kind of dialectic thing. We are talking, I say, okay, from my perspective, I see the world like this. It had incredible results. I have several friends who came and say, okay, I want to become Muslim. And I said, come on, are you serious? Without trying hard to do it. I think it's the best way to convince people because the European mind is very reluctant about being convinced. They don't trust politicians. They don't trust the medias. They don't trust scholars at university. They don't trust anyone. Okay, this is really, for them, it's the past. Another interesting, when my sister had her first daughter, I think she was like 4 or 5. She started to ask questions about death, like every children, And what my sister said, these questions you will see with your uncle. I have no answer about death, but your uncle, he has the answers. So I said, okay, so you don't really accept my Islam and you are not at ease at all with my belief, but yet you realize that for very crucial realities like death, I have more answers than you. This is really interesting. They realize that there is something, but they cannot step forward and they cannot overcome the barriers they have. From my point of view, the answer is yes and no. Yes, because it's obvious in the medias, in some politicians. After 9/11, everything changed for the bad, and with the attacks in Europe, it just went crazy. And in Belgium, we had attack at the airport, in the subway. So it was, wow, very shocking things. So definitely there is a sentiment of Islamophobia growing. Yet, I clearly saw in Belgium is that after the attacks, a lot of people wanted to know about Islam. That was a very new thing. They wanted, okay, so what is about this religion? I want to understand what's the point. So they start to ask questions. Before they didn't ask questions, kind of hidden Islamophobia. And today it's a very conscious, very present Islamophobia. But for some people, it's the occasion to get to know Islam. I've been a kind of idealistic person. I think my purpose was, okay, I'm going to change the world. And probably today I want to change the world, but I think I see it completely differently. I think that I first need to change myself, and it's very important. You don't change because you want to change. You have to know exactly what change you want for the world. So, yeah, today I think the importance of this knowledge, to know better human being, to know better how the world works, and to know better my main resource, which is the Islamic tradition.